Hello, welcome. I'm glad you have joined us. I'm Alexandra, your instructor and a senior technical trainer here at Microsoft. I have been teaching for over 10 years with the current focus on data and AI courses. I live in Paris and I speak 5 languages, so feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn if you would like to learn more or just say hello. I'm here to walk you through the course Create Agents in Microsoft Copilot Studio. In this session, we will cover how to build effective agents with Microsoft Copilot Studio. In our 4th session, we will guide you through design principles and best practices that help you create agents that are not only functional, but also intuitive and impactful. So let's get started with this session. Right here on my screen is the link to the learning materials for this session. Feel free to follow along or bookmark it for later reference. In the session, we'll start by exploring techniques for planning your agents effectively. Then, we'll look at design elements that contribute to their success. We will learn about different types of conversations and why they matter, along with best practices for crafting trigger phrases that guide users smoothly. We'll also explore various techniques for building conversational agents and wrap up with how to use analytics to monitor and improve your agent's performance. When designing an agent, to maximize its usability, you need to consider various factors that can affect its success. Here are the key components that contribute to making a successful agent. First, know your customer. Understand their needs and interaction. For example, younger users may learn and lean toward automated solution, so your design should reflect it. Next, understand the customer's request and connect it to the right topic. This means building a single agent capable of handling multiple scenarios, ensuring that requests are directed to the appropriate topic. Third, having accurate, up-to-date, and effective content is crucial. Ensure your agent have access to the latest information and update them as products and procedures evolve. Keeping Copilot agents' knowledge current is essential for providing reliable assistance. Providing personalized, context-aware help and taking action for customers is another key component. Customers appreciate personalized experience, so tailor your responses based on their specific needs. Finally, know when to hand off to a live agent. Copilot agents won't have all the answers, and it's important to recognize when it's necessary to transfer the conversation to a human representative. By focusing on these components, you can design an agent that is both effective and user-friendly, ensuring a positive experience for your customers. When creating a topic, you can loosely categorize most into 3 types: informational, task completion, and troubleshooting. Informational topics focus on providing information to the customer. This often starts with the question like, what do you store hours for your Paris location? Task completion topics assist the customer in accomplishing an objective. These are triggered by statements such as, I won't schedule a service appointment. And troubleshooting topics help the customer solve the problem. There is a triggered by statement like, my coffee machine is making a loud noise. By understanding these categories, you can design more effective and targeted conversation for your customers. Setting the stage for building effective topics involve several key steps. First, identify topics and listeners. It's crucial to understand the importance of identifying relevant topics and listing possible scenarios. This helps in tailoring the conversation to meet customer needs effectively. Next, design a high-level conversation tree. Creating a structured conversation tree ensures that the interaction is smooth and logical, guiding the customers through the process seamlessly. Then, validate and iterate on the design. Testing and refining the topic's design is essential to ensure it meets the desired objectives and provide a positive customer experience. By following these steps, you can create effective topics that enhance customer interaction, making them more meaningful and engaging. As you prepare to build a topic, try putting yourself in the customer position and consider their point of view. Think about why they're reaching out, the types of questions they have, their possible mindset, and what a successful resolution might look like to them. When you're initially planning your topics, we recommend listing the different topics you need based on the scenarios you're trying to support. For example, an organization building an agent to assist customers with purchasing products might want to create topics based on what their customers might need help with. By considering these factors, you can design more effective and customer-centric topics that enhance the overall experience. After you have created a high-level list of the key topics you need and the information likely used in these topics, it's time to build more details around what your topics will look like. The following image on my screen shows what the mapping might look like for two scenarios: post-sales and checkout. Checkout support topics might include browse topics, shipment, pricing, tax payment, and address validation. For instance, a topic like pricing might need to handle tasks such as finding a promotion to save the customer money or providing a solution for price matching. Post-sale support topics might include refund, return exchange, delivery, price adjustment, change or cancel order, and order status. For example, assisting a customer with changing or canceling their order would require data such as address details, shipment information, or coupon information. By mapping out these details, you can create a structured and comprehensive approach to handling various customer interaction, ensuring that each topic is well-defined and equipped to provide the necessary support. On my screen, you see an example scenario for a return topic. As you begin building your topic, it's important to think through the different situations your customer might encounter. Consider what they are trying to achieve. Whether they're looking for information, trying to complete a task, or dealing with an issue they need help troubleshooting. Let's look at how these scenarios apply to return topic. First, there are informational needs. The customer might want to know, what is your organization's return policy? Which shipping providers can they use for returns? Next, we have task completion. The customer may need help initiating a return. They might ask, how do I return a defective product? How do I print a return label? Then there is a troubleshooting. The customer may be dealing with a defective item. Before processing the return, you might need to guide them through basic troubleshooting steps based on common issues and help them return or exchange the product if troubleshooting doesn't resolve the problem. By listing out this scenario, you can start to define the goal of a topic. For return topics, the goal might include providing clear details about the return policy, determining whether the customer is eligible to make a return, and helping the customer complete the return process. These goals will serve as the reference point as you begin building your topic, ensuring it's focused, helpful, and aligned with what your customers needs. Let's talk about building a high-level conversation tree. When outlining the flow of a topic, your goal is to make the conversation as efficient, as intuitive as possible. Think of it as mapping the customer journey step by step through the topic. Start by simplifying the number of questions you need to ask. The fewer steps it takes to reach a resolution, the better the experience for the user. Look for ways to identify the issue quickly. You can enhance this process by integrating other technologies like Power Automate to streamline actions and reduce friction. By designing a clear and purposeful conversation tree, you will guide users smoothly through their interaction, helping them get what they need with minimal effort. Designing a well-functioning conversational agent involves several keys. Here are some essential tips. Designing conversation agent is a cooperative, goal-oriented, fast, turn-based, truthful, and polite process involves several key principles. Let's break them down. First, cooperative. Your agent should engage with customers as naturally as a human would. It shouldn't require extra effort or special knowledge from the user. Think of it as having a friendly chat with a helpful assistant. Second, goal-oriented. Every interaction should have a clear purpose. Design your topics with specific goal in mind, always asking yourself why you're asking or responding in a particular way. This keeps the conversation focused and productive. Third, fast. Successful conversation move at a brisk pace. Ensure your agent can quickly understand and respond to user inputs, keeping the interaction smooth and efficient. Turn-based. Provide customers with the correct information at the right time and ask for verification before moving forward. This prevents the need to backtrack and correct mistakes, making the conversation flow more natural. Truthful. Your agent should always validate information before acting on it. This builds trust and ensures that the responses are accurate and reliable. And last not least, polite. Respect the customer's time by anticipating their needs and offering appropriate choices in a courteous manner. Politeness can be achieved by being considerate and empathetic, making the interaction pleasant and respectful. By following this principle, you can design a conversational agent that is not only effective, but also enjoyable for users to interact with. Other ways to make your agent sound more conversational include the following. Use short sentences. Shorter sentences are easier for people to comprehend. Additionally, shorter sentences mimic live conversation flow more closely. For example, "Sounds great. Let me get this started for you." Be positive. Maintain a positive tone throughout the conversation. Use statements that show respectfulness and positivity, such as "Let's get started," "I have a couple of questions," or "Should only take a minute." Use active voice. Your agent needs to be goal-driven. And active voice sentences are short and direct. Active sentences tell the users what you're currently doing. For example, "No problem, I can resolve this for you." Use contractions. Contractions serve two purposes: to reduce the size of a message and to project personability. Contractions are more aligned with how humans talk. Be consistent with pronouns. Identify which pronoun you want to use with your agent based on how you want to present to customer. Two common examples are first person I and first person plural we. I. If the agent uses I, it means that agent speaks as an individual who is representing your organization. If the agent uses we, it means the agent speaks as it's your organization talking to the customer. Both options work well in an agent. However, make sure that after you have identified which one you want to use, stick with it and don't switch between them. Otherwise, your agent can lose its personality and can seem disorganized. Similarly, you will also want to be consistent with your conversational tone and style. Your agent should seem as if it's the same agent and brand throughout the conversation. Many organizations already have great documentation, frequently asked questions, help articles, internal wikis. Copilot Studio can tap into that content to help users more efficiently. First, use what you already have. Pulling from existing knowledge bases saves time and expands the range of topics you Copilot and you can help. But how you present this information matters. Break it into short, digestible chunks. Long blocks of text are hard to read and feel overwhelming in a chat format. Think about how people scan content. Use bullet points, numbered steps, or short paragraphs to make it easier to follow. And always keep the tone conversational. Even if the content comes from a formal document, rewrite it to sound natural and friendly. That helps the user stay engaged and feel supported. A good rule of thumb. If it looks like a copy-paste from a manual, it probably needs to be rewritten from chat. Let's talk about pacing, how fast or slow your Copilot responds or moves through a conversation. First, break up the information into small readable blocks. This makes it easy for users to follow along and keeps the conversation feeling naturally. If you have a lot to say, spread it over a few turns. Avoid overwhelming the users. Dumping too much information at once can cause confusion or make users disengage. Think of it like a real conversation. You would talk non-stop without giving the other person a chance to process. On the flip side, don't rush. If your Copilot responds too quickly, it can feel robotic or make the user feel pressured. Adding a slight delay in key moments, like after a complex explanation, can give users time to think. And finally, check in regularly. Since you can't see facial expression or body language, it's important to ask if the user is following along, especially after giving a detailed answer. A simple, does it make sense, or would you like to go deeper on this, can go a long way. These passing techniques help your Copilot feel more human, more thoughtful, and more helpful. Let's walk through how to maintain a strong conversation tone in Copilot Studio. First, consistency is the key. Whether the conversation is casual or serious, the tone should always feel friendly and helpful. This builds trust and keeps the user comfortable. Next, avoid overusing exclamation points. They can come off as overly enthusiastic or even condescending. And instead, use strong, clear verbs to convey energy and confidence. Adapt your tone to the situation. If the topic is serious, like billing or security, be emphatic and direct. If it's something lighter, like setting up an account, you can be more relaxed and conversational. Keep the user involved. Ask questions or offer suggestions to keep them engaged, especially since they might be multitasking. Be transparent about delays. If something takes time, like pulling data, let the user know what to expect. This helps manage their patience and trust. Finally, keep your responses simple and easy to read. Avoid long or complex messages. These principles help ensure your agent feels approachable, helpful, and human-like without overdoing it. When developing an agent, the objective is to design conversations that closely resemble typical human interaction with customer. The aim is to encourage customer engagement while ensuring conversations are concise and valuable. When creating conversational agents, it's important to use natural language. Focus on clear and substantial ideas. Keep messages brief. Communicate key points quickly. And maintain a polite and approachable tone. After an agent is live, it's likely that you will find areas where you could improve the performance. Microsoft Copilot Studio allows you to measure and constantly improve the performance of your agent. It provides you with valuable metrics to measure engagement of customers with your agent. This slide introduces the importance of validating and integrating on your design to ensure the effectiveness of your agent. First, testing your agent in real-world scenarios helps you to understand its effectiveness. It's crucial to see how it performs in actual conversation. Next, simulate the customer experience by reading dialogues aloud. This can help identify areas where the conversation doesn't flow naturally. It's like rehearsing a script to find the raw spots. Once you identify these areas, you can modify specific topics to better fit the overall objective. Think of it as fine-tuning your agent to make it more engaging and user-friendly. Let's dive into analyzing valuable metrics to ensure your agent is performing at its best. First, let's talk about summary charts. These charts provide a quick overview of your agent performance. They highlight key metrics and trends, giving you a snapshot of how well your agent is doing. Next, we have engagement over time. This metric tracks how users interact with your agent over different periods. By analyzing engagement patterns, you can identify peak times and understand user behavior better. Session outcomes are another crucial metric. They help you understand the results of each interaction. Are users getting the information they need? Are the issues being resolved? This metric gives you insights into the effectiveness of your agent. Resolution rate is all about how often your agent successfully resolved user queries. A high resolution rate indicates that your agent is effective in providing solution. If the rate is low, it might be time to review and improve your responses. Escalation rate measures how often issues need to be escalated to a human agent. While some escalations are inevitable, a high rate might suggest that your agent needs better training or more information to handle complex queries. And finally, we have the abandon rate. This metric shows how often users leave the conversation before their issues is resolved. A high abandon rate can indicate frustration or dissatisfaction, signaling a need for improvement in your agent's performance. By regularly analyzing these metrics, you can identify areas for improvement and make necessary adjustments. This continuous process of measuring and refining ensures that your agent remains effective and engaging. On the screen, the following example explains how you might use these reports to design a better Microsoft Copilot topic. The session outcomes over time chart is shown in the following screenshot. Ideally, you want most of your sessions to be resolved. Resolution indicates that the agent and its topics are doing what they should be doing. However, you might want to know what happens if the abandon rate starts to increase. The following image shows that on May 1st, the abandon rate was 24.1%, and on May 2nd, it's increased to 32.8%. This increase is significant, and at this point, we should closely examine the individual topics to identify if specific topics are leading to the increase in abandon rate. You can see the details related to abandon session in this chart. This lists each topic and provides the rate for it, allowing you to explore further related details about why the topic was abandoned. We can use analytics to improve the process. Here is how. First, Identify high-impact topics using the abundant rates driver report. Next, examine the topics by selecting the detail icon. This allows you to review specific related to the topic. Then, download and read transcripts. This helps you pinpoint the exact spot in the topic that leads to abandonment. Finally, improve the topic content. Select Setup to open the topic and make targeted changes. By following the steps, you can enhance your agent's performance and ensure a better user experience. Let's take a moment to recap everything we have covered in this session. We began by exploring different types of conversation and why they matter. Understanding these types helps you design interactions that are not only engaging, but also effective. Then, we looked into techniques for building conversational agents. These methods are essential for creating agents that can handle a wide range of queries and deliver accurate, helpful responses. Finally, we looked at how to use analytics to improve your agent's performance. By analyzing key metrics, you can identify areas for improvement and make informed adjustments to enhance the overall user experience. And this concludes our session. I hope you will join us as we journey through this course. I encourage you to watch other videos in this course or search out your next favorite topic on Microsoft Learn at aka.ms/learn. Thank you and see you soon!